Baz as well. Shane Baz. I think I didn't go live. I almost went live, but I decided just to go ahead and wait. From the Tampa Bay Rays, so a big early round pick, is now a member of the Baltimore Orioles. So the Orioles, they're going to look at two starters. So this is one. This is a guy with 4 controllable years under his belt. That's a thing. So they're going ahead and getting him. They traded a lot, though. Slater DeBron, Caden Bodine, Michael Ferret, Austin O'Verne, and a competitive balance pick, the 33rd pick. So that's a lot. They did want to get a controllable years pitcher like this so they wouldn't have to spend so much money going out and getting a starter. I think they still may have their eye on a Framber Valdez or whatever the negotiation they may be looking at. That we'll see. And again, the only part about this trade, and I understand it, but you gave away Michael Ferret. It seems like when they do these trades, they're giving away good pitching prospects every time. Trade away DL Hall, trade away Ferret, trade away Burmeister, trade away, and mixed returns of how they've all worked. Trade away Grace, but this is when they want to get deals done, they do that. But they're getting a guy, Baez, I think is going to be better in Camden Yards, and he has been very tough to pitch in that minor league stadium last year. So we will see about that. And one last segment. On Facebook and Twitter this week, I asked 2 questions. Who is the best center fielder for the Orioles of all time? And a lot of them said Paul Blair. I purposely asked that question because it's a tough one. Was it Paul Blair? Was it Adam Jones? Was it the B, Al Montgomery? Some people, I didn't say Cedric, put Cedric in there. Second baseman, kind of the same thing. So, because that's close, right? You could say Roberto Alomar. You could say Bobby. I'm saying Bobby Grich. Brian Roberts. I got no problem with any of those answers. So, what would the Orioles look like if they took the field as the ultimate 26? So this is how the Orioles would look if their all-time best players took the field at different positions. So these aren't the best 26 Orioles of all time, but these are the ultimate 26. So if I'm starting a roster, starting a game, this is the guys that I would have. Gus Trianos, I think, would start behind the plate. Chris Hoiles will go ahead and back him up. You got to carry, in my opinion, at least 2 catchers in this one. Eddie Murray would start at first base. 2 really good first basemen. Boog Powell behind him. Eddie, I think, is probably one of the greatest Orioles that should have stayed an Oriole. There was a guy I think that should have never went away. It was Eddie Murray. Could not get along with the owner, Edward Williams. Word was that he didn't like African Americans, and so he traded away. He was frustrated with that, all that. And Boog, I think, the best barbecue / power hitter of all time. Bobby Grich. That's my answer to the second baseman. I'm putting him at second. All due respect to B. Rob. All due respect to Roberto Alomar, Rich Dower. Bobby Grich, I think, is the best second baseman in Orioles history. Brooks Robinson at third base. I would trot him out there and play at third base as well. I don't think anybody's going to debate me there, neither with Cal Ripken Jr. at 1. Keep Mark Belanger around for defense. So Mark Belanger, I think that would be a good choice defensively. I think Cal, I think is just superhuman. I think I've said that every time I've talked about Cal Ripken. Cal Ripken is superhuman. The record, I don't think that'll ever be broken. Matt Olson has a pretty good streak right now, but not even close. This guy's a stud. Cal Ripken, I think, one of the greatest. Belanger, I think, would be there if it wasn't for Cal and his great defense. Brady Anderson, I put him in left. The center field question some people asked about Brady Anderson. Brady hasn't played more left than center. I think Brady, is the best left fielder we ever had. I know he started in center, but I think there was nobody here. He's actually under-revered, I think, as one of the great Orioles. I really do think so. Brady was good for a long time. I see him. I always refer to him as kind of like the Macho Man Randy Savage to the Hulk Hogan of Cal Ripken, kind of like the first lieutenant. I think that's kind of why. Or Ed Reed and Ray Lewis type as well. Center field, I put all three: Adam Jones, Paul the B, Al Bumry, Paul Blair. I have a hard time separating that Bumry was one of my favorite players as a kid. Bumry was one of my favorite players. It was one of my mom's favorite players. I think a quintessential leadoff man. I'm starting Adam Jones, though. Jones, I think, was the stats just say it. Oh, I will say this. There's a lot of Paul Blair out there. There was a lot of people that think Paul Blair, but he's on there as well. Frank Robinson is in right field as well. I don't think there's any debate. I think Frank Robinson, probably as far as an African American, as far as a hitter at that time, probably maybe only Jackie Robinson surpassed him as far as the impact he had as an African American as well. Harold Baines, I think, is one of the greatest DHs of all time. On the rotation, no question about it. This is pretty easy. The Moose, Mike Mussina, behind Jim Palmer, Dave McNally, Mike Cuellar, and Mike Flanagan in the rotation. Bullpen, the Otter, Greg Olson, Tippy Martinez. I like Tippy, though. I do like Tippy, but he wouldn't be your closer over Olson. I think Olson is the greatest closer in there. Zach Britton was fantastic. The Derrick Henry situation kind of reminded me of Zach Britton, where he should have been in the game and wasn't in Toronto a few years ago. Jim Johnson was outstanding for a while. Darren O'Day, one of the best setup men. Jorge Julio and Randy Myers. I think a shame we couldn't keep Randy Myers long, and he could have went. That went left real quick. So how would the order look? So putting him out there, put Brady Anderson first, Adam Jones second, Frank Robinson third. Frank Robinson over Cal. Frank, I think, was a better hitter than Cal. Eddie Murray is the face of my head. Every time I see a cleanup hitter, it's Eddie Murray. Cal Ripken at shortstop, Brooks Robertson at third base, Harold Baines at DH, Gus Triandos at short, and I think Bobby Grich at second. Deal with it. Second base, Bobby. And Bobby Grich wasn't even my era, but I think the numbers were better. I do think the numbers were better. Who would be pitching and starting the game? Obviously, Jim Palmer. Who would close out the ninth? It would be the Otter, Greg Olson. And who would be the manager? The late, great Earl Weaver. They don't make him like Weaver anymore. They just don't make him like Weaver anymore. Kicking, screaming. You look at managers now, they're so put together and all that. Earl Weaver had no use for that. Give me a 3-run home run and a good pitch game. Earl Weaver. So there you go. The ultimate 26. So those are the 26 Orioles I would go ahead and go with as well. So we're deeper in the offseason. So next week, we're going to talk about the Orioles Hall of Fame as well. And we're going to talk about, I think, what's a very hard list to put together. The 20 best players in MLB history ever. So the 20 best players of all time. After that, that'll take us into our 2026 top 10 list. We'll start with catcher, first base, etc. with our list as well. And we'll carry with baseball. And we'll also continue to keep up in case anything happens with the Orioles. Merry Christmas, Ravori Sports Nation, Ravens fans, Raven fans, Oriole fans, Terp fans. Thank all of you for joining us this year. You have a great rest of your day. Merry Christmas.